So this is my list of top 10 games that shouldn't be forgotten. It's sort of similar to outside Xbox or extra list. Uh, uh, Doing it a bit different. There's also probably other channels that have done something similar. Nothing's original, you can't think. Anyway. Yeah, so this is games that either are already seem to be forgotten or are sort of, feel like they're going down that path of something that's forgotten. Although they're not great necessarily, it's still something that I don't think should disappear from our mind. It's focusing on stuff don't really ever hear anybody talk about. Now, keeping in mind that this bottom half is a lot of things that I think might disappear, is something that is on the bottom of the list a lot. So number 10, I have Dead Space, which you may be thinking, oh, it's a super popular game. How do you think someone's gonna forget that? It's it's been 6, 7, or 8 years, and no one's talking about a sequel or whatever, a reboot or whatever. There's not even a spiritual successor. Surprised no one's made that. Yeah, I know think there's some problems Visceral had with the EA or whatever. That's why that Star Wars thing got canceled. It's sort of disappointing that no one's even talking about it, because I hear people talk about Arkham, which I like that series. I like it more than Dead Space. And it's only been about 4 years or 5 years since the last one of those. And Dead Space 3 had a lot of outrage. I didn't think it was that bad. And some people say the ending was pretty definitive. Honestly, I thought it kind of opened it a bit more. They're on the moon now. Now we have to go stop the Necromorphs on the moon in the next one. I don't know. Anyway, so that's it for that. And number 8, basically any Indiana Jones game. It's really surprising. I know that Uncharted has really taken up a lot of role, and before that, Tomb Raider, and sort of during Uncharted's the Tomb Raider reboots. But there's a lot of just sort of the iconic, Indiana Jones. Want that too. There's no reason both can't exist. Yeah, that's some really good games. Emperor's Tomb in particular. Infernal Machine wasn't bad. And Staff of Kings was pretty decent. It wasn't the greatest. It actually had an interesting Wii version. Anyway, that's something that, it's something I hope we get someday. Yeah, everybody's talking about the Star Wars games for EA. It's really overshadowing Indiana Jones. Okay, next have 7 as the Army Men games based off those plastic army men's. There was actually a reboot sort of thing that called the Mean Greens or something. Yeah, so it looked alright, but I should have played it probably. Or anyway, yeah, those were some fun games. They're shooters. Not much to say about it. It's just very nostalgic for those plastic green army men. Number 6, I have For Honor. I talked about this before, and to look back. Yeah, it's a fun Call of Duty swords game. Yeah, the directional matters. It seems to be just sort of not talking about a sequel or whatever. It just sort of seems like it's going stagnant. Number 5, I have Split Second. I do hear people talk about this game sometimes. It really seems like it's completely superior for how good a game it was. It was really fun, arcade. There's big like movie explosions, like dodging stuff, like falling across the track. It's a pretty fun game that really deserves a sequel or a spiritual successor. I see that for a bunch of other games. Like that's always that's something that they can always do. Number 4 had the Alien vs Predator game from 2010. So when I played it, I'm sure there's other good ones. The beat 'em up looked pretty decent. This was pretty good. The Alien and Predator gameplay was fun. Jump around as a predator, crawling on the walls with the alien. It had that great sci-fi world. It should, I was a bit disappointed, and I eventually saw the AVP and it wasn't in the future. It's probably their biggest mistake in that movie. Anyway, I hope we get more of that universe. Number 3 had the War for Cybertron Transformers games. I believe there were 3 of them. But the last one I think was made by a different developer, and it kind of sucked. I remember the third one sucked. Got to Earth and I don't know. Anyway, those games are fun. It's like that's sort of like what I want out of a take on the Transformers universe. It has like a lot of the old wacky cartoon stuff or the colors, but it's also taken kind of seriously. There's a good shooter and had fun vehicle sections. Yeah, that's another point that shouldn't be forgotten. Number 2 had the Pac Man World series. Played the first 2 and a little bit of the third. Anyway, yeah, they're pretty fun. They're a bit different from. They're sort of like a Mario 64 thing. Yeah, but it's a bit different. He has different moveset and stuff. Yeah, they're pretty fun. There's interesting worlds, fun mechanics, and also had some pretty good music. I think back at it. And number 2, they have Spy Hunter. This reboot PS2 version. They had 2 of those. They were both pretty good. Had a fun sort of just good fun car shooting game. Seems like they don't make much of those. The old arcade racing genre seems to be just sort of disappearing. It's like only like in small indie games still really exist. Now I don't have anything against them. It's just I like arcade more. Gonna go ahead and mention some honorable mentions now. The Godzilla games from a while back, not that one that was on PS4. It was like Godzilla Unleashed and a few others that were similar. There's the King Kong movie game. That was good. And Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which I might be doing a look back at eventually. So last one is Star Wars Racer Revenge. It's great, it has the best part of. I hear people talk about the N64 Star Wars Pod Racer. I played a bit of that. It was also good, but I got stuck because I was a kid and built the pod wrong or whatever, or I just wasn't good enough. Anyway, Racer Revenge had a very important part of the pod racing experience, which is killing all the other pod racers. Anyway, so yeah, but it's really good how you can get hurt and you can damage the other pods. It's the funnest part of it. It's also had a bit more interesting tracks. It's just overall fun pod racing game. It'd be great if they ever did another pod racer game at all. It is truly what I call pod racing. Anyway, so that's the list. That's it.